The eternal cycle of life is defined by birth, childhood, youth, adulthood, and old age. Today, the life cycle patterns of women and men are changing, with profound implications for gender relations. The world's population is living longer than at any other time in history, and social patterns are also evolving through new technology, increased mobility, and different family models. Yet gender equality remains a challenge all over the world, particularly in the world of work. Safe maternity for mother and infant survival is at the core of life itself. For working women, the joy of bringing a new life into the world can bring fear as well. In Cambodia, for example, many women are at risk of losing their jobs when they become pregnant.
When I got pregnant, I was very worried about my health and my job.
But textile factories monitored by the ILO's Better Factories Cambodia program offer maternity protection to their employees, including paid maternity leave, health protection, and the guarantee of a job when returning to work. When young women like Roz Kimsreng benefit from their company's maternity protection policy, having a baby and keeping a good job can go hand in hand. Childhood is a vulnerable phase in the life cycles of women and men. Education is a key vehicle for girls and boys to be lifted out of poverty and is a crucial step towards decent work.
Whenever I saw children going to school, it reminded me that I could not go to school myself, and I was heartbroken.
Like hundreds of thousands of other child laborers in Morocco with no chance to go to school, El Bouktaweya will grow up illiterate, poor, and desperate. But thanks to the efforts of a local community group supported by the ILO, girls and boys who were once child laborers now combine juggling and trapeze at the circus school with receiving a formal education in a nearby classroom, just like most other children their age. El Bouktaweya is one of the success stories catching up on her education. She's 16 now and in the 5th year of her primary schooling. Child labor is part of her past, not her future. Youth is a stage of life that is crucial in determining paths to achieving productive employment and decent work. But even a good education is not always a guarantee for getting a good job, if there are few opportunities. In Kyrgyzstan, most of the trained workers have left to seek work in Russia and the West. Instead, Dilaram Holmatova stayed and opened a successful curtain-making workshop in town after going through the ILO's training course, Start and Improve Your Business.
Now I can definitely call myself a businesswoman.
Entrepreneurship requires information, training, some capital, and lots of motivation. The demand for her products grew, creating new jobs and new hope for the unemployed women in her town. Adulthood is the rush hour of life, defined by providing income for dependent family members together with caring for them. Finding the right balance between these responsibilities is challenging indeed, especially with more women entering the workforce. ILO Convention 156 on workers with family responsibilities refers to governments, employers, and workers sharing these societal obligations. In Paraguay, one of the country's biggest employers took the initiative to facilitate the daily lives of their employees. ANDE, the Administración Nacional de Electricidad, runs a daycare center for children of employees. Both men and women are taking up the responsibility of bringing their children to the daycare center.
There are benefits for the company and the employees. Employees really feel more committed by being provided with these services. It's like being a part of a large family because we all have a common objective.
An ultimate work and family imbalance occurs when women and men do not find sufficient job opportunities in their own countries and have to migrate for work. Each year, the Philippines trains thousands of skilled nurses, but can't pay them what they earn overseas. But sometimes working abroad and earning can have unwanted consequences.
We're talking also of families, children growing up without their parents, or both parents are working overseas, and you have a different kind of culture being sort of developed because of migration.
Working in partnership with the ILO and overseas governments, the Philippines Overseas Employment Administration regulates recruitment, contracts, and employment in destination countries.
I think it's a model in Asia because as far back as the 1970s, there is a network of administrative protection, a set of guarantees of rights of our migrant workers, if and when they do work abroad.
By and large, people prefer to find decent work in their own countries, yet new opportunities need to be generated at home, such as the creation of green jobs. In Burkina Faso, a foreign social worker trained by the ILO started a plastic recycling facility. This helped create jobs and protected the environment from plastic trash, a hazard to both humans and livestock. The workers are all women, learning new skills and holding paid jobs. The facility also appeals to the local community to support its dual objectives of job creation and a cleaner environment.
We have to spread the word about the centre so that people bring plastic waste here. We work hard cleaning and sorting the plastic, recycling 4 to 5 tons every month, so we can cover our salary and maintenance costs.
Students go on field trips to the recycling facility to learn firsthand about the impact of environmental pollution and the important role played by the women workers. All over the world, what is perceived as women's work has always been chronically undervalued.
It's only tradition. I don't like to do this work, but this is all we can do as women. I don't talk about what I do. This is not an interesting job.
This undervaluation leads to lower wages. Direct wage discrimination between a man and a woman performing the same job is easy to identify, but equal pay for work of equal value requires that different jobs are evaluated to prevent pay differences based on gender bias. But at the world-famous Pasteis de Belém restaurant in Lisbon, the ILO job evaluation method was used to assess the content of men's jobs in the visible portions or women's jobs behind the scenes. This resulted in breaking through traditionally stereotyped jobs and led to more equitable pay. Women are now working everywhere in the restaurant and not just in the back.
Nowadays, whether someone is a man or woman makes no difference. It's a stigma that no longer holds true here. We don't have jobs exclusively for men or women. Just like you see women working in construction, you now see women working as waitresses in restaurants and pastry shops.
But even where women traditionally work alongside men, sometimes it is the women who are doing the heavy lifting. On construction sites in India, women do much of the unskilled work, carrying bricks, gravel, mortar, and water up to the skilled carpenters and masons. Injuries and a lifetime of chronic pain are common. Supported in part by the International Labour Organization, the Self-Employed Women's Association, or SEVA, has trained several thousand women in safety and masonry skills. It's giving them the chance to overcome dangerous work practices and provide opportunities to secure better-paying jobs that improve the quality of their lives.
I have benefited a lot from the training. Before, I had no idea about ratio for concrete. I had no idea about how much sand, cement, bricks, etc. I did whatever the mason said. Now I know 9-inch bricks and 4.5-inch bricks. Before I used to get 70 or